Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we have the Orbic Journey Pro. This is another alternative for those of you who are on Verizon. This is a KaiOS device. It doesn't have all the apps, but it does have a few ones. So let's first get started with the frequently asked questions. As you see here in the frequently asked questions, you do not have access to WhatsApp or some of the more quote unquote critical apps that many people are looking for, but you do have some basic utilities in the KaiOS store. If it's available on the KaiOS store, this device can install it. Here, I'm going to go over the messaging experience first. You have access to group text messages and sending pictures and all of that good stuff. You have a predictive text engine, but you can also change it with the pound key to something like triple click. So you can also type right there with triple clicking the buttons. The construction of the device is an improvement, but it's still plasticky. So for $80, you're not getting anything special, but I do like the keys. They're quite responsive and I do not feel like they're cheaply made. Like a little bit of the 2780, the Nokia 2780, it's a little bit more cheaply made for the keys, at least the feedback. But the responsiveness of the keys for the Orbic Journey Pro is a little bit better for pretty much the same price. You also have Kai Weather, which allows you to get the weather in your area. And one thing that I like to note is that the Orbic Journey Pro has worse performance indoor when it comes to data than the TCL Flip Pro or the Nokia 2780. So when you're outside, no problems. When you're on Wi-Fi, no problem. But if you're indoors, the data is a little bit finicky for some reason, at least in my area. Now let's go over a few of the offerings of the KaiOS store. So the KaiOS store has been improving and is getting a little bit better. So here is an update, for example. You also have an ebook, Paint by the Number. You have the ability to do PDF tools and a few other productivity apps. And of course, you have PodLP, which is one of my favorite apps for podcasting and getting information. You have a few more social apps, but you have a peer-to-peer Messenger app as well available for KaiOS, which can help you bridge that gap whenever you are on a desktop client or connect it in that way, one way or another. So KaiOS is getting a little bit more popular in different parts of the world, and hopefully more development comes to this platform. But at the same time, if you need some of these extra things when it comes to applications, WhatsApp, or something like 2FA, KaiOS is not for you. When it comes to the internet, so if you have the ability to search certain things, this device is not going to be the smoothest experience. So let's go over it right there. HelloFresh. You have a mouse and you can definitely navigate and get information, but it's not going to be, in my opinion, super addictive because, again, it's a very basic browser. It's nothing that is going to consume a lot of your time because everything has to be navigated with that cursor. The camera, not going to win any awards, but it's there if you need it for a few snapshots. Here are some samples of that camera. I would give it probably just a 3 out of 5. It gets the job done, nothing special, nothing cool about it. You have here Spot LP, one of my favorite applications, very well developed for KaiOS, and you can download whatever podcast you want, get into, some of that world and get the information that you need, listen to it without any issues. No streaming applications as far as I know yet, but hopefully they're going to be developed. Here you have utilities, calculator, you have a to-do list, you have a recorder. You can also download other to-do lists. You have a music. You have also the ability to go over the news, which, if you want to get the news. And some of these are not going to be user uninstallables, sadly, but that's just how it is. There is one more application that is kind of hiding. It's actually here on the side when you get out. So let's go back. And it is Maps. So when it comes to Maps, sorry, right there, you have Google Maps, but this is not going to be your regular smartphone Google Maps. It's going to be more of a very step-by-step MapQuest equivalent of Google Maps. You're able to find information. So if you want to find a coffee shop, for example, here we're going to type coffee shop, and it's going to give you a list of coffee shops in your area. Lost Coffee, that's one of my favorite places. Huckberry Roasters, Atlas Coffee, and it will give you the same information that you'll be able to find. So where is it? and how to get there. If you want the extra details, where is it, the phone number, some of the reviews, what time does it close. And if you want to get directions, it will give you a list of directions on how to get there, but it will not track you, it will not speak to you, and that is a little bit of a bummer. Then you also have the ability to do YouTube, but again, it's that browser version. It's not something that you're going to be able to enjoy. And there's another thing that they have been blocking some of these devices because you need to sign in with an account to watch it. So sometimes it's not even going to work. So it's getting a little bit more of a broken functionality, if you will, right there. You have an email application. It's not going to be something that you're going to spend a lot of time. But if you need to get an email from work, or if you need to get an email for personal reasons, you also have that ability right there to set it up and at least get the information, read it, and maybe call or send a text to get some of that messaging back. The applications here are very basic. KaiOS is not my favorite, but it gets the job done and it can be useful for a lot of people. So if you have been considering this device, I will give it a 3.5 out of 5 essentially, because it's good enough. It can get the job done. But there are other alternatives that you need to take into consideration. The Nokia 2780, same price. The TCL Flip Pro, similar pricing as well. If you find those used, it's better than the Orbic Journey Pro, at least in my personal opinion, just because of the construction, the way that it feels in the hand. This is a fingerprint magnet with all of the plasticky things. But if you're looking at this device and you need something basic for the everyday happenings, I do not see you going wrong with it. Hopefully this review was valuable to you. And if it was, make sure to give it a like and to share with a friend and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. We'll see you in the next video.